Hello, everyone, and welcome. I am so excited and honored to be here today with Nicole and Emery. We knew Emery was going to show up eventually. I'm so excited to be here to introduce you to Nicole. I know many of us, including myself, have watched her for years and been inspired by her. So it's wonderful to get to ask some wonderful crafty questions and learn a little bit about the crafter behind the camera. So welcome, Nicole.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
We're very excited. So could you tell us a little bit about yourself so people could get to know you a little better?
Sure. I'm Nichol Spohr. I have been a paper crafter for over 20 years.
Mm.
Started out as a scrapbooker and then just transitioned more into card making and paper crafting. But if it's got paper involved, I am there. I love it.
And also behind you, quilting as well and some needle art too, right?
Yes. I
Yeah.
enjoy cross stitch and quilting as well. So
You're the all-around crafter. You have lots of
I do.
different dabbles. I think a lot of us got started in scrapbooking. A
I
lot
think
of us
so.
that was the in, and then it was like, ooh, card making. It was
Yes, stamps. Ooh.
I know,
Ink.
and they've come so far.
They
I remember
have.
the days of the wooden and you couldn't see, and now we can line them up and see through them, and how
It's
wonderful is that?
amazing. Yes, but
We
just all of the innovative products we have now to make it easier.
absolutely, absolutely. Now, you've seen the retreat package,
Yes.
and there are 2 sets. Like, which one, when you saw them, you were like, "Ooh, that is the one I've got to create with first. Like, that's speaking to me."
Um, Probably the first set. I can't think of the name. I don't even know if we're saying the name.
We're gonna go and we are going to let the folks that are here, we're gonna say the name, the Sunny Flowers, because it is on the website, but we're
Oh,
gonna just
okay, I
speak
wasn't
about it.
sure.
We're gonna let it flow today.
Okay, awesome.
They
Christmas
haven't seen it.
surprise for everyone.
But
Holiday surprise.
yes. And a bonus for being live with us as well. And before I forget, we do have a code today that is good through December 20th, which will bring the price of the package for 200 down to 165. And that is Mindful Nicole 18. So MindfulNichol 18. So we got that link in there too. If you want to click on that, we have Angel behind the badge. So let's say a quick hello to Angel as well.
Hi,
She's got all of
Angel.
our stuff back there. So yeah, that was, and that's, it would be a tough choice. It's a really, really
It's
tough
hard.
choice.
I like them both. I'm
It's just,
excited.
yeah. And so we chatted a little bit before we came on. So you like to look at the things and process as
Yes.
yeah, it takes a little bit of time.
It does. I really when I get something new, I like to kinda have it. I like to set it out. I like to think about it, percolate, your word.
Yeah.
I like to do that and really just kind of, let the ideas come to me before I
Yeah.
sit down and start crafting with it. So, yeah,
It's
I
hard
always
when you
better.
it's hard when you like if you have a deadline or you have a project you're working on, it's hard to force yourself to create because
Yeah,
I've found in that time like you're not happy with it because it's
no,
you kind of made yourself do it. So it's nice to
exactly.
hear that other crafters as well have that percolating time to
Yes.
process and like I go through ink colors and you just kind of move it around, and so it's good to hear that others we're all in the same boat here with the crafty process.
Absolutely. Yes.
So your inspiration, because you make a lot of cards and you work with a lot of different stamps and inks and everything. Where do you get your inspiration from?
Um, Generally just it's funny, probably not really card making. It's a lot inspired by other crafts. I know we mentioned, like, I cross stitch and quilt.
Yep.
I find, like, quilting color combinations and things like that, I find that inspiring. Just everyday things, and then there's always those go-to styles or techniques that I've done, and I like to kinda rework things that I've already done that work really well that I enjoy doing. I always think it's
Yep.
important to find what you like, and you can always add things to that or take things away as your style evolves and changes. So, I'd say inspiration can be found anywhere, but, um, I I find it a lot in other crafts.
And it's sometimes you do case yourself. Sometimes you do
Oh,
have a
all the
project that
time,
you loved and you're like, "What
all
if
the
I did
time.
this with this?" And yeah. So that leads to what do you feel are you a clean and simple
No.
crafter or how where do you feel do you have a description or are you everything?
I think I can do a little of everything. I definitely wouldn't describe myself clean and simple. I know, on my YouTube channel, when I go live, we always joke that I'm extra. I don't think that I'm so extra though that I'm, like, putting everything on,
Yeah.
but I do like the little details. Um,
Yes.
and so I kind of feel that I'm probably not the clean and simple. I probably fall somewhere in between, but I like to try a variety of styles.
And I that's one of the things I love most about your cards is that they're very personal and you can see the thought that went into them.
Oh,
So
thank
you
you.
feel it in the card and I can
Thank
imagine when the
you.
recipient gets it, they can feel that oh she did this little detail on the window or the flower and she paid attention to that little thing and it's for me. So it makes your recipient feel a little bit extra special when they get those
Oh, well,
types of
thank
projects.
you.
Now, so what do you do when the mojo done gone up and went? What do you do when it's just not you got the tank's empty? What do you do?
I clean my room.
Me
I clean
too.
I clean and I purge
Yeah.
because if I feel like if I have too much stuff, it really inhibits the creativity, and if you've got a mess around you, I also think that inhibits the creativity. It's not fun, but I always find starting with a fresh, clean surface, I am ready to create.
Yes, I agree. It's not fun. It is not as we were talking, sometimes some people may have piles on their desk at the moment.
Yes.
But that's the thing. I feel like fresh. Like when you
Yeah.
move stuff out, you put it away. And it also I think you get to know your products again because you see what you
Yeah.
have again. You're like, "Oh, I haven't made that card I wanted to make." And I think it really just puts more gas right. It fills your gas tank right up and you're off with
It
your
really
crafty
does.
mojo.
Sometimes you forget that you've purchased something and you come across it and it just ignites that creativity, so
Or you may have purchased 2 on accident because you really liked it,
you really liked it.
but you hadn't
Yes.
used it yet. So that happens.
I feel seen.
Oh, good. This is just all the crafters out there like, "Oh, good, it's me too, it's me too,"
Yes.
I think, out there. So what is the one thing that kind of is always on your list of, "I wanna work on this, I think I can get a little bit better at this?"
Um, I would say coloring. I think it's a skill that you must practice because you can lose it or,
Yes.
and you can always improve. I think pretty much everything can always be improved, but, I'm not a great watercolorer either, so I try to find ways to incorporate a watercolor look,
Yep.
with the skill set that I have, and so that's something I'm always working on.
That would be for me. Watercolor for me too is always one of those. I think that'll be my entire crafty journey.
Me
Like
too.
that'll just be on the list. And like you said, if you don't color it with like the artist markers for a bit and you go back and you forget, like your brain has to like jumpstart to get back into, okay, I put
Yes,
the shadow here and I put this here. And it is. And it's hard because there's so many crafty techniques and fun things out
yes,
there
yes.
that to work on. Speaking of which, your class seasonal scene blend building. Having too much fun. I
Whatever
can't
that
even
was.
speak. I'm having so much fun. I can't talk. Is one of our classes in the Alternate Educator Certification Program, which was very, very fun. And I learned so much in. So thank you for doing
Yes.
that class. How do you build scenes on your cards? Like, what's your starting point on
My
them?
starting point is so obviously I'm starting with a stamp set or dies if depending on what it is. I always start out by taking them and laying them out on my paper and kind of moving the stamps and dies or one or the other, whatever it might be, and figuring out how big I want my background. Do I want it slimline? Do I want A2? Do I want a 5x7? Whatever, what's going to work. And I lay the things out before I ever stamp or die cut anything to really give me an idea of what's going to fit. And then I generally build the background, whether it's stenciling or inking or combination, whatever it is. And then I will start adding in the rest of the scene elements.
Do you have any tips for folks that struggle with laying out a scene? Is there any advice?
I would say start with a few things that you think are going to fit. Your favorite image from the stamp set. Go ahead and stamp and color that one or add it to your card. And you can always add more things. And don't be
Yeah.
afraid to take things away. Even if you have stamped and colored it and you really thought you were going to use it, but it's just not flowing, don't be afraid to just take it away. You'll be happier with your finished result.
And I always see it as you've started a new project. So it's very exciting.
Exactly.
So
You can use it for something else.
you would always find a home. It just needs a new
Yes,
home. Nice, a little
absolutely.
crowded.
Yes.
Now, this is exciting, you guys. Nicole is teaching 2 classes at the Mindfulness Retreat, which is super duper exciting. Have you had any thoughts yet, like technique you might be going with, or are you still in the percolating phase?
I'm percolating, but I'm pretty sure that for one of the classes, um, we're going to be doing multiple cards, just kind of sharing how you can kind of change color
Yeah.
with the same basic design. And I'm super excited. Playing with the embossing folders, stencils, all the good stuff. So
Ooh, little
yeah,
sneak about the class, the embossing
little
folders and
thing.
stencils. Ooh, very exciting. Very exciting. That's where I lose my artist marker mojo because I get over to the ink blending with the stencils and I get lost. And I'm like, okay, I gotta go back to my markers and those stencils. Yeah, they
Oh,
steal
they're
my
so
hearts.
nice though. They're so
When you
nice.
lift it, it's
Magic.
almost like the magic of heat embossing. It's the same
Yes,
thing. It's just magic. It's
yes.
yes. Oh, yes. So that's exciting. So you guys keep that in mind. Some embossing folders are probably going to be used. And just so you know, what's in the kit, there is the Sunny Flowers Complete Product Bundle, which is a 4x6 stamp set, a die, coloring stencil, and 3 embossing folder, which we heard we're going to be used. Yay. And then there's Truly Amazing product set, which again includes the 4x6 stamp, die, coloring stencil, 3D embossing folder. There'll be the set of the Woodland Escape Fresh Die inks, which just came out, which is very exciting. The set of the Gilded Glitter cardstock, which we always need glitter. We always need a bit of shine there. And some hot foil in brushed gold. A set of double-sided adhesive sheets and the ultra sticky double-sided tape in 1/2 inch, which you get so much on that roll. It is awesome. And then a set of A2 card bases and some sequins. So we got a lot of glitter, a lot of shine, a lot of stick. So we have lots of
Yes,
techniques that can be done through with it's very, I'm trying to think, it's very versatile. That's what I was looking for.
it really is.
There's lots of techniques. Yeah. Because I mean, you can
Mhm.
even watercolor with the inks. So really, you can do almost anything with that kit. You have such a great starting base from there. So
Yes.
we talked about the embossing folders, the stencils maybe sneaking out there.
Mhm.
When you design a card, do you have a technique that kind of comes first? Or is it when you're percolating, is it a technique or is it an item that kind of comes to you first?
I thought about this a lot. I think that it's mostly driven by product because I've let it sit for a little bit, and that technique usually comes from what I'm going to use. Sometimes I have a technique that I'm really loving, like, a lightly stenciled background with some splatter and then something on top, which is a
Oh, yes.
pretty simple technique, but it's effective. And I
Oh,
love to use that, but then use different things on top of that. So
yeah.
I would say it's probably mostly driven by product.
Okay. And I love your idea of multiple ways to do kind of the same thing because it
Yes.
changes just one changing one color. Changing
Mhm.
it just changes so much. And I think we forget that we don't have to come up with something new. And we've talked how
Yeah,
sometimes you case your own work. So it you can look back. You can do the
absolutely.
same card, just tweaking it just a scotch to get a completely different vision or look, of
Mhm.
your same products. So if you, let's say you're in a pinch and you have to make a card, is there a technique that you're like, this is my technique? I know it. I can do it quickly. This is where I'm going.
Yeah, I would say it's probably what I just mentioned, that like a lightly stenciled background, no layering, lightly
Yeah.
stenciled, greeting stamped, and then either like I would say a die cut layered floral or a stamped layered floral that you die cut and pop on your card. Add a few sequins or little embellishments and you're good.
As my
And it
friend says, chef's kiss.
exactly. I love it. Perfect.
The stenciling is the magic though. I think
Yeah,
that's our current magic.
I do
I've
too.
been in this for 30 years. You've been in for 20. They go through phases where there's magic, but I think stenciling's here to stay as a magic, like the heat
I do
embossing
too.
stayed. I think it is, which the stencils they're coming out with are just
Oh, they're
phenomenal. Like the
phenomenal.
oh, it's just we used to try to do that and we couldn't. And now we have
Yeah,
stamps and stencils that create these beautiful florals that you look like you could touch on your project, which is absolutely
absolutely.
amazing. Are you, like a one layer? Which way do you usually go? Are you one layer or do you like to do the die cuts?
Oh, I like the die cuts. Die cutting
Yeah.
is my favorite. I love to die cut.
It is because I would say the queen of building scenes. I mean, your
Oh,
scenes
thank
are
you.
phenomenal. And a lot of times there are die cuts in there,
Yeah.
which are just, and like, again, the detail that you put in them is just phenomenal. And yeah, oh,
Oh,
love,
thank
love, love.
you. Thank you.
Yeah, it's your cards are very inspiring. So it's very exciting that you're in the retreat with us so we can have more crafters be inspired by your amazing projects. And Angel even said stenciling is her fave too.
I
She's on
see
board.
that.
And Seashore Lagoon. That's I always when I think of my Angel, I always think of the lagoony tealy colors too. So like
Oh,
to put
yeah.
those in there.
Beautiful. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, that's I think. What's your color family in Altenew that you are just it's your BFF?
I would say that that color family you
The
just
seashore.
mentioned. Mhm. I
I
love
I
it.
I I always say rock collection is my husband at Altenew because I love the grays. The grays, you can do
The grays
anything with the
are
grays.
beautiful.
Yeah. But it's that's like a difficult question. Like what's your favorite stamp
It's
set at
hard.
Altenew? No, no, no. There's categories,
Mm.
there's sections. Like what's your favorite geometric? I can answer that question. But favorite stamp set feels like you're excluding. It
It does, and I don't wanna leave anyone out.
No, I love them all equally. It's like you can't choose a favorite child, you can't choose a favorite stamp set or stencil or emboss. But you can have top
Yes,
10. Top 10 is okay, I think.
you
That's
can.
easier. It's still hard to put your
It's
top 10
hard.
favorites. Very difficult. So for the beginner card maker, crafters, do you have any advice? Give like one tip now, and then this will pop back up at the retreat as well for more advice. But
I would say for the beginning card maker, don't be afraid to try a lot of different things and kinda see what sticks. We don't all love the exact same techniques, nor should we. And so I would say give everything a try, and you will naturally start feeling what you enjoy doing, and then you can build on that.
what do you say to what's a tip for an advanced crafter that maybe feels stuck in their crafting?
Try something new. It's
Yeah.
hard. Um, I just try something completely out of your wheelhouse. Like for me, we some friends and I were talking about like the gel printing or whatever, which I probably not even
Yeah.
saying that right because I've never tried
Yeah.
it. But I think I should. I think I should at least try it. Maybe it's not for me, maybe it is, who knows?
Yeah,
But I get stuck with, I like my die cutting, I like my coloring, I like my
yeah.
scene building. I think it would be a fun thing to try. So for advanced card makers, I say there's so much out there. Try something completely different.
And that's yeah, I'm with you. I haven't tried that yet. I don't like to get my fingers dirty. I have
Oh,
lots
I
of
don't
tools.
mind, so maybe I'll be good.
I think you'll be all set. Yeah. That's my one thing is I'm like, I gotta wear gloves or something. Like I can't, which is odd being a crafter. But that's why they make tools. So
It is.
Altenew has a beautiful selection of tools that help me so I don't get all sticky and inky and all of
That
that.
is amazing, yes.
Now, is there do you have a favorite we won't say favorite one stencil at Altenew, but do you have like the layering stencils, the single stencils? What do you kind of reach for the most?
The layering stencils, I would say. The floor not a specific one, but the floral layering stencils, because I feel like they're magic, and I have
Yeah.
heard that from so many of my viewers that they watch the stencils layer, and for a lot of crafters who maybe don't either like coloring or they're not comfortable with coloring, stencils
Yep.
make you look professional instantly, those layering stencils.
Yes.
And
And
so I
that
would say
yeah, that at the August Altenew meet and greet, there was a lady who had never stenciled. And she was so proud at the end. She's like, "I did that. Like, I did
love
that. The
that.
stencils helped me do that." And it was she had never crafted before, so it was amazing to see that and have that
Yeah,
be her thing that she fell in love with card making.
her
What is
introduction, that's
Yes.
amazing.
Yep, because she kept lifting it up, and she's like, "My ink's a little out." I'm like, "That's okay. That comes with time. It's practice. It's knowing, all that."
Mhm.
But it's phenomenal to see somebody fall in love with something, and she's like, "I can't do anything," and I did that. Like it was the stencils are
Oh, I
they just
love
look magic.
that. I
It
love
was
that.
That's the best thing. That's the best thing is seeing folks use the products and seeing what they create. So in the retreat, like what's your favorite thing about teaching a class?
Just the interaction with everybody in the class.
Yeah,
I love people playing with the product or maybe trying like we were talking, a technique maybe they haven't tried, and realizing it's doable, it's fun, you're left with a beautiful card result, um, and really just that interaction with other crafters who love the same thing you love.
yeah.
'Cause in real life, people are like, I don't really care about your inks." So it's so awesome to just be with people who get me.
I did that at the airport. I said, "Oh, I went to something," and I said for stamps, and he's like, "Oh, you collect stamps?" And I'm like, yeah, but not no."
Not
And
what
you
you
say you
think.
make cards, and people are like, "You do what?" Like
Yep,
so it is that camaraderie, and it really
yeah,
is. It's being
community.
part of something special at the same time together.
Yeah,
It's just such a fun thing, and to see what they make at the
yes,
end, it blows your mind. And I'm like, I should have done that. If they
yes,
switch up something, and that's I hope you guys all know how inspiring you are to instructors that
absolutely.
teach the classes out there, because we look at what you made and we're like, oh gosh, we got to try that, or what if we did
Mhm.
this, or so that's another crafty mojo if it's stuck. Kind of rewatch the class possibly, because these will be recorded. You get to keep these. So let's say you have an appointment that day and you have to miss a bit of a class. Don't worry, they're recorded and you get to keep them. You get PDFs with them, which are a step by step, and they have beautiful pictures in there to help you along the way. And instructors, if you have a question and it's after the event, feel free to reach out and say, hey, I missed this, but I'm a little confused on this step. So instructors are always happy to help. But it's oh, we have somebody was making dinner and she was a little late, but we're so glad you're here
Yes,
to share. We have just a few more minutes. Do you guys have any questions for Nicole out there? Now, Nicole, so non-crafting related, do you have any pets?
I do. I have 2 little dogs. They're both Shih Tzus. Um,
Goodness.
I have a little senior 13-year-old
Yeah.
baby. We adopted him when he was 9,
Oh,
so we've not had him forever, and
yeah.
then I have a 3-year-old, very spoiled baby
I think they're all
laying on the
spoiled, aren't
floor
they?
here.
They're very spoiled. And kudos for adopting a 9-year-old. That's awesome because you always feel so sad when the older
Yeah.
ones.
Well, we went for a puppy. We had lost kinda suddenly lost our fur baby who wasn't very old, and when we were there, they had a dog they had actually used for breeding, the one we brought home, but he
Oh,
was no longer being used, and he had not we didn't know it until we got him home. He had not been taken very well care of,
oh.
but he's living his best life now. You would not he's not the same dog. He's yeah, he lives his best life.
So I have a sign that says I work so my cats can have a better life. And you can have one that says I work so my dogs can have a better life.
Absolutely, because they are spoiled.
Cece said she just wants to say that she loves your
Oh,
work.
thank
That's
you. That's so
yes.
sweet.
Yes, it's amazing and it's fun to see because usually we don't get to chat. Usually we just get to watch your beautiful work and hear what's going on, but it's different to be able to get to know you and say, "Oh, I met Nichol Spohr. I saw her on an interview and I got to ask her a question about this, that,
Yeah,
or the other." So it makes it so much better to get to
fun.
know everybody through this process.
Yes, it is fun.
I'm just seeing if there were any more questions that anybody had out there. Do you keep any of your own work? I'll ask you that one. Do you have any cards that you just can't let go because you love them so much?
That's so funny. My friends and I were talking about this recently. Um, I I usually always give them away eventually, but
Yeah,
some I just have to hold on to maybe for even a year or 2. I
yeah.
just came across a couple that are about 2 years old, and I finally feel like I can let them go, but I
I
love
love
them
the
so much
eventually.
eventually. Probably because I've made something in those 2 years that I like better.
Yep. It's getting pushed
It's
over.
yeah, it's far enough away, but I yeah, my cards do all go live with someone else, but eventually.
Eventually. There are some that you look at and you're like, no, like I can't. No. But
It's gotta live with me for a little bit longer.
yes. And I don't know, but I've had some do you have some cards that surprise you? Like you're making it and you're like, "Oh, I don't know about this." And you
Oh,
get to
yeah.
the end and it's one of your favorites that you've made.
Yes.
Do you have that process? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, "This is not working, this is not I'm not gonna love this," and then I get to the end and I'm like, "I made that."
It's like I did a thing.
I
I
did
did
it!
something. My family has your family finally understood the hype of crafting? Like when you get really excited about like a card or I know you do cross stitching and quilting, like when you get really excited, is your family like on board and understands, or are they still like, okay, it's paper? Like
I think so my older 2 kids especially, they appreciate what I do, but I don't think they get it. Like,
yeah.
I think they're like, "Wow, mom spends a lot of time playing with paper."
That's what I got a question. So, at school, and I'll ask you this question: what would you tell your 5-year-old self that would surprise them?
"Oh, cutting and pasting is all you ever need."
That was mine. I play with paper for a living. That was my teacher's like, "You do what?" And then I have to explain it all over again, and there
Yeah.
it's hard. I think you have to be in the community to understand the excitement about the perfect layout or the excitement about that one stamp set. And we are so fortunate to have that here at Altenew. We have that community that just gets it.
Yes.
They just know.
That's what I'm excited most about in the classes is other people who are as excited as me about the about the products.
Yes, they say like I say the crafty tribe. We found our crafty tribe. It's just it's an amazing it's wonderful. You post in the fan group, you post a a question about what does this card need, and you get 5 or 6 different answers, and everybody's so helpful, and it's
Yes.
wonderful to have this community, and I, I know in school I've talked about the community we have, and it just blows my professor's mind that we've created the community that we've created over
Yes.
Zoom, over streaming, over videos, because you do get to know, like, over the years. I remember yours from a long time ago, and you get to know people over
Yeah.
the videos, which is wonderful. But this is better because we get to ask you questions
Yes.
and all of that, and we are going to have more of that coming up, you guys, in the March Mindfulness Retreat, and lots more questions for Nicole, some that she's working very hard on to get, to the her answer. I'm not going to say the correct answer because there is no correct answer, but to her answer. So we will get to know Nicole a lot more through the retreat. Have a great time making some cards. So we look forward to you joining us. Again, that code is Mindful Nicole 18. And Angel, could you throw the link in one more time? And I will go over it one more time what you get in the kit, because we're super excited. And I will tell you that the price is going to go up. So if you're interested, now through the 20th is the lowest it's going to be. It's going to be $165, and you get 12 hours of crafting. You get to keep the videos, the PDFs forever. They're yours. Plus, you get this amazing kit, the Sunny Flowers product bundle, and the Truly Amazing product bundle, which is a 4x6 stamp set, two die sets for the stamp set, 2 embossing folders, 2 stencils, the Woodland Escape mini cubes, gilded glitter cardstock, and the hot foil roll of brushed gold, double-sided adhesive sheets. You get 10 of those, 10, and the ultra sticky double-sided tape and 1/2 inch, which it's a hefty, it's big as my hand, the roll, and then some 12 card bases so you can make cards. Actually, that's like, 1 an hour. So,
You can
and
do it.
some sequins. And Nicole's already given us a little bit about hers. So the only downside is it's only December. So you guys have a few months to get even more excited.
Yes.
So, and I'm very excited to let you know that we have more interviews that are coming up with the other instructors that we have. We have Erin coming up on the 17th at 11 a.m. We have Christina Warner on the 19th at 5 p.m. We have Mindy Egan at December 20th at 1 p.m. And these are Eastern Standard Times. And we have Miriam Perez at 12:23 at 4 p.m., which is very, very exciting. So thank you so much, Nicole. This has
Yes.
been a wonderful crafty chat. And I can't believe, I know it's going to go fast. I know between now and March is going to fly, but now it
Yes.
seems so far away that we get to craft together. So I'm very excited.
Me too.
And we look forward to seeing you there, everyone. So we will see you all very, very soon at the next interview or the next live. I'm back tonight with a live on Altenew for the release for the December Marvelous Monthly. So I hope to see you there tonight. And again, one more time, it was lovely having a chat and getting to meet you, sort of.
Yes.
It feels like it, you
It
get the
does feel
visual
like it.
and the interaction. So thank you so much. And we can't wait to see you
Thank you.
again very, very soon. Bye, guys.
Bye.